Hi, my name is Jessica Brown, and we're going to do something very exciting right now. We're going to have a very quick lesson in the Mayan number system, which is really fascinating. So first, we're going to start off with doing a bit of background of the Mayan culture. Next, we're going to look at the Mayan number system and how that differed to our own. Then we're going to look at how it changed over time. And lastly, we're going to finish off with how it has contributed to the number system that we use today, which is called the Indo-Arabic system. So to start off, the background of the Mayans. The Mayans was a Mesoamerican civilization developed by the Mayan people roughly 1500 BC. So that's about 3,500 years ago. They occupied much of the northwestern part of Central America, such as Mexico. They practiced agriculture and ate food such as beans and corns, and they used to trade with one another. Their religions included polytheism with their creator god called Itzama. They also believed in animism, which is the belief that everything, even rocks and rivers, were actually alive. They were unfortunately destroyed by the Spanish Inquisition, roughly about 1697 AD, and they were really well known for their amazing architecture and their pyramids, which we can see in this image up here. It is similar to the ancient Egyptians. However, they had a flat top and they used stairs up. So that's the Mayans background. Next, we're going to look at their number system. So our number system is a Indo-Arabic system, and our base is 10. This means that each column is times to 10 to the power of, depending which column it is. So if we were to represent 5 in the one column, it's 5 times 10 to the power of 0, which is 5. They used something similar to this, however, their base was 20. So instead of timesing it to 10, it was times to 20. So they didn't have numbers in the way, the symbols that we have them. They used a bar and dot to signify each number. Each dot represented a 1, and each bar represented 5. A shell was then used for 0, which was a massive achievement back then, and even now, because they were actually the first culture to invent 0. For numbers over 20, the symbols were put into different columns. There wasn't actually a line there, but it was separated by space. Starting from the bottom, it would then be times to the power of 20, depending on its position. So for us, if we are doing the ones column, it would then be times to the power of 0. For them, it was from the bottom, and that's how it worked. So we're going to look at some. So if we look over here, this is how all of theirs look. So let's look at 7. 1 bar is 5. 2 dots is 2. Add those together, and that gets 7. And as we can see, that there is our shell. We look at our next one. Let's look at 25. So this is the first column. That's the second. 5 times 20 to the power of 0 is 5. And then 1 times 20 to the power of 1 is 20. 20 plus 5 is 25. Now, how they use this math was in adding and subtracting, and they made it quite simple so that even uneducated people could do it. So if we see over here, it has a plus and equal sign, which is kind of misleading because they did not have plus and equal signs. But I put this here just so it makes sense to you. What they would do instead is that they would just set the numbers next to each other and reverse it for subtraction. So we got bar, 5, bar, and 3 dots, 8. 5 plus 8 is 13, 2 bars for 10, and 3 dots. And that's what they would use for trade. Now, how did this change over time? The Mayan culture was unfortunately destroyed by the Spanish Inquisition in 16th century, with the abolishment dated in 1697 AD. Thus, the culture was not able to flourish, and instead the area now uses the Indo-Arabic system due to the Spanish. So, and as far as we're aware, their system remained quite consistent over their time that they did exist. However, unfortunately, it does not anymore. And lastly, how did they contribute to maths today? Well, they invented the number 0. And I know that you're thinking, oh, 0, what does that even mean? It is so essential for our number system. It signifies an absence of things, and it also is a placeholder that can differentiate between biggest numbers. I mean, the difference between 3 and 30 is literally a 0. So thank you for listening today, and I hope this has given you some perspective of the Mayans culture, how they use mathematics, and how important it is to our maths today. Thank you.